He said 30% of all African Americans have white paternity because of the slave trade, the raping of black women. 30%. You go around and look at black Americans, 30%. Somewhere back there, it may be the 5th, 6th, 7th grandfather, somewhere back there is white paternity. But that's not 300, that doesn't go back necessarily 300 years either. So now, this is why I'm talking about plausibility. So you can argue, like people say, oh, well, you know, Cleopatra was Greek. Wait a minute. What you mean? You mean her 300 years earlier, her ancestor Ptolemy was Greek. That's what you mean, because you can't mean anything else. Not given the fact that they were ruling in a black country. 300 years in a black country, and you were telling me that they had some sort of pure Greek ideology when the kings had 3 and 4, and some of them 5 wives. You tell me none of them were black or African? You tell me no woman married an African, an Egyptian? No, that's not plausible. It's not plausible at all. It doesn't make any sense. And so why is there that's why I'm asking you why there was an outcry. Shakespeare even said, when he's talking about Cleopatra, he used the word tawny, meaning brown skin. Shakespeare didn't see her though, because of course this was nearly 1,000 years. It was a long time before Shakespeare, right? But one of the people who is spreading this is a guy named Zahi Hawass. And he's not an eyewitness. He is a propagandist. You don't know a propagandist until you meet him. I met him. And you know where I met him? Right here in Philadelphia. We led a demonstration against him in Philadelphia at the Franklin Museum. Some people remember that. There was a sister named Helen Blue who was a news reporter. And we finally cornered him. And Helen said to him, why are you saying that the ancient Egyptians were not black? And he looked at it and said, well, they were black. Of course he knew they were black. This is Zahi Hawass. I'm saying this for the world to know. This guy is a commercialist. His idea is to propagandize for Egypt's economy. That's what he does. I found a new discovery. Wait a minute. There are thousands of things in Egypt. Thousands of figurines and statues. You can find one every week if you're digging in the right place, you see. And sometimes he's not digging. He's just found somebody who has found something and brought it to him and told him. So he's not a scholar. He's a propagandist, even though he went to the university here in Philadelphia. In some Renaissance arts, Cleopatra is portrayed as dark-skinned, a black woman in the terminology of that time. The artists based their opinion on the fact that she was from Africa and ruled an African country. These opinions were from their own assumptions or conclusions about Africa and Egypt. Now, there are a lot of Arabs in Egypt who don't believe they're in Africa. I meet them. I said, well, Dr. said, we're happy to see you. Where are you going from here? I said, I'm going to Ghana. They said, oh, so you're going to go to Africa? I said, I'm in Africa. I'm in Egypt. I'm already in Africa. No, I'm not. It's not like it's a different continent. You know what I'm saying? Egypt is Africa, you see. But there are people who don't want to claim that, and I'll tell you why in a minute, all right? So, but a reality check. This is Cheikh Anta Diop. This is an ancient picture of Egyptians, and these are current pictures of Egyptian children in Egypt, right? And they don't look like the Arab children that you know about from Cairo, right? But they're there. They're still there. Just like if you go to Libya, you still see the black people in Libya who were there before the Arabs came to Libya. That's why I don't like people talking about Africa south of the Sahara. The Sahara is Africa. There's no straight line across the Sahara where black people do not exist, or where only white people exist. No. The Sahara is Africa. It's all of it is Africa. It's African continent. We don't make a distinction in the United States by saying you're west of the Mojave Desert or east of the Mojave. When you go into California, you know what I mean? This is a part of the United States, the Mojave Desert, you see? But this is a reality check. And I got hundreds of pictures of black people in Egypt. I just haven't figured out how to take them off my phone. So that's why I am showing them to you. I have to get my grandson to do that, right? But it's this is very fascinating. It's very fascinating to me. Even if you get the clarity of the legacy, Herodotus even said that the Colchians were descendants of the Egyptians because, like them, they have black skin and woolly hair. But William Wetmore story, he did a Cleopatra in 1858. This is not an African man who did this, and he did an African Cleopatra. An African Cleopatra in 1858 in this country, a statue of an African Cleopatra. Now, not only did he do that, but approaches to Cleopatra are many. And we know, and this is why Jada Pinkett Smith must be given credit as a celebrity for being willing to at least raise the consciousness of the world to the fact that Africa's civilization is very powerful, and people want to steal it. People want to take it. Everybody want to go and take Africa. Edmonia Lewis, one of the greatest artists who ever lived in the United States of America, her Cleopatra in 1876 was on exhibit at the World's Fair in the Fairmount Park here in Philadelphia as a black Cleopatra. In 1878, nobody's questioning her in 1878. And people say, okay, yeah, she ruled in Africa. No issue. However, I want to let you know that the first woman ruler in the world was black. Her name was Merneth. And she ruled 2,900 years before Jesus Christ. Wait, think about that. We don't get Cleopatra till about 2,000 years later than Merneth. More than 2,900 years later, almost. 2,900 years after Merneth, we get Cleopatra. So the first female leader and ruler in the world that we have a record of is a black woman named Merneth. And then we get Sobeknefru. Then we get, in around 1478 BCE, before the Christian era, we get Hatshepsut. And then after Cleopatra, because Cleopatra is around 30 BCE, but after Cleopatra, we get Amanirenas. That's the woman who stopped the Romans from invading Nubia. That's the woman queen who is the great queen who stopped them from invading Nubia. Now, I just want you to know that that sometimes they say, and you hear this too, well, there was a group of kings who were black. They were the 25th dynasty. Oh, no, that's a trick.